All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praise, honor, and glory is to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much due honors and respect to you brothers out there that's also laboring in His work, not becoming faint in your watch. And that's what I want to get into in this lesson, all right? Men who are becoming disenchanted and becoming weary, all right, as we move closer and closer to our redemption. And this got to happen, all right? This is actually prophecy. This was prophesied by Yahweh Shah when he made the statement, "He who endureth to the end, the same shall be saved." All right? Meaning if everyone was going to be delivered, all right, everyone who come into this truth, all right, even here amongst Great Millstone, all right, if all of us was going to be delivered, well, Yahweh Shah wouldn't have never made that statement, all right, where he actually put a premium on that word enduring, all right? And to endure means you gotta pretty much stay hydrated, all right? Because once you begin to leak that oil, all right, then it's gonna be like a car, all right, without fluid, without gas or oil in it. It's gonna eventually stop running, all right? See, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. That's another prophecy concerning men that's going to become weary, all right? Because this is the harvest time. The harvest is the end of the world, which means this is the time to labor. And we know who you men are. That's the thing. And you know who you are, all right? If you look at a guy page and they haven't put up a video in a month or a couple of weeks, all right, that means you're becoming weary, man. All right? It's 24 hours in a day. You mean to tell me that, you know, the spirit ain't on you a couple of hours out the day? And, you know, this sitting is inspired by a statement the Apostle Taha made, all right, concerning you guys that's becoming weary, all right? There's one or two options. There's one extreme or another. Either you just go back in the world or you pray to the Most High to strengthen you and to replenish that spirit in you that's becoming weary, all right? So with that, I want to just get right into it. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 2. Be watchful and strengthen the things which remain, right? And to be watchful is what? To do the work. It doesn't mean peeking out of your blinds, all right? It means to prophesy. It tells you that in 1 Samuel, the 9th chapter, that before time, the prophets were called seers, which means we are the ones that's to watch, all right? So it says, be watchful and strengthen the things which remain, all right? Which basically, if you see yourself, you know, not measuring up to the standards, all right, which is doing the work, then it's up to you, man, to pray to the Most High, all right? Or either go back in the world. So again, be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die. For I have not found thy works perfect before the Most High. And perfect is just what it says. If you coloring in a circle and you just color in half of it, or a quarter of it, or 3/4, 3/4 of it, then it's not full, it's not perfect. So you can't come into this ministry and half-ass, all right? So again, if you're not reaching the standards, which, you know, the Apostle Taha put out a decree maybe a year ago about the 2 videos a week, all right, which was not burdensome, all right? Well, if you can't at least, because that was a spiritual decree that came down from Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man, all right, in efforts to, in an attempt to give you guys a pep talk, all right, to strengthen you up, to boost you up. It was the Lord telling you, hey, get to work, all right? And he spoke through Apostle Taha. And you got men that's not putting up a video in a whole damn month, all right? So if you are not meeting those standards, all right, or those measurables, you know, you need to examine yourself and pray to the Most High to strengthen you in that area, which, by the way, again, that's not a Great Millstone thing, so to speak. That's not like, you know, this the Crips or the Bloods or nothing. And a decree came out, and you got to wear blue all this month, you know? No, man, this is actually scriptural. Matter of fact, let's jump down. This is Revelation 3 and starting at 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. Verse 16. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Right. So you see the sense of urgency with doing the work. This is Yahweh Shah speaking, man. All right. So this is not a man-made commandment. This is actually the guidelines of the scriptures for you to do the work. All right. And men who have been in this truth, like the Apostle Tahar outlined, you got men been in this truth 20 years or 15 years. All right. He know who they are, and we know who you are. All right. If you at work and, you know, you got a couple of guys humping, they busting their ass, and you got a few guys that's slacking, well, they're going to know the ones that's slacking. And they're going to, you know, develop a certain level of resentment for those guys. Why? Because they're not helping, you know, they're not contributing to the task at hand, which in essence, you guys is holding up the kingdom with that attitude, man. This truth should be going out much more than what it is now. All right. And the reason why a lot of guys become weary and become faint is because they look back into the world. That's why Yahweh Shah said, he who putteth his hand to the plow and looketh back is not fit for the kingdom. All right. The first, you know, signs of a guy when they become weary, they begin to do things that they was doing in the world, or become, you know, their attention span start to look at, you know, their attention is taken by things of the world. You know, if you're not doing the work, then that means you're doing something else. All right. See, the Most High pulled us away from the world for a reason. It was a strategy to that, because he knew the things of the world was going to hinder us, whether it was a woman he was dealing with, and he set up a scenario to make that woman leave you, or whether it's old friends, you fell out with your family. That was all a method in that, because the Lord knew that he needed all hands on deck. He needed your full attention. But you have guys that reach back, and that one action actually, you know, get in your mind and take your attention off the work. All right. This is Hebrews, the 12th chapter and the 12th verse. Wherefore lift up the hands which hang down and the feeble knees. Right. Meaning, hey, get to work. Because yeah, in this ministry, in this service, you're going to get tired. We all get tired. But what happens, we are strengthened. It tells you that the outward man is perished, but the inward man is renewed day by day. All right. Meaning your mind is renewed day by day. You know, if you're in a situation where you get writer's block, so to speak, spiritual writer's block, you don't got no lesson to come up with, then that means that you are not renewing your spirit. You replenish your spirit by going back to the living waters, which is the scriptures. Look, man, you could read one chapter in a book, all right, and the lesson to come to your mind off of that. All right. Verse 13, and make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed. Yeah, and what's going to be lame? Your legs. All right, you're going to get wobbly legs, which is opposite of how you should be in this truth. See, the men that's going to receive those crowns, as it tells you in 2nd Ezra, is the ones that stood so stiffly, man. All right, what's the opposite of standing stiffly? Being wobbly and weary. Verse 14, follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Most High. Looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of the Most High. Right, looking diligently. The key word is diligently. And again, looking does not mean peeking out of your curtains and your blinds. That means watching, which means prophesying. All right. It says, lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble you. Right. Meaning you guys go back into the world and, you know, you could be in the truth. Right. But what I mean by go back into the world, you might hang back around old friends. You might think you safe to go up in the club. Then all of a sudden a seed get planted in your mind. And then that root start to spring up bitterness, which pretty much takes your attention off doing the work. You know, you thinking about some broad you met last night and how to get with her. Now you done spent the week, all right, fucking around and you ain't doing the work. All right, or you might be into whatever else bullshit. That's that root of bitterness that spring up and that hinders you. And thereby many be defiled, right? And again, the thing that becomes weary is what? Your mind. This is the ultimate mental game here, man, we dealing with, all right? Now, this is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 1, and verse 13. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind. Be sober, right? Gird up the loins of your mind, man. That's how you do the work, because your mind is on the work. Look, man, if you're not doing the work, that means your mind is not on these scriptures, man. I don't care who the hell you are, man. I don't care how long you've been in this truth, you know, how many devils you cussed out, how many people you brought in. It's men that brung in thousands of other men, all right, only for themselves to fall out, all right, because they didn't gird up the loins of their mind, and they was not sober, meaning they took a sip of this juice in Babylon, all right, and it began to cloud their thinking, man. Now all of a sudden you can't come up with videos, or either you too busy doing some more shit. It said, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahushua HaMashiach. Right. Hope to the end, not hope to the first 5 years or hope to the first 10 years or 15 years. You got to hope all the way to the end, man. And hope is, again, it's action that comes along with hope. All right. You don't just sit back. When you hope, you put it in. Your hope is put into action. That's why James said, show me your faith without works, and I'll show you my faith by my works. All right? It's the book of Galatians, the 6th chapter, and the 9th verse. And let us not be weary in well-doing. Right, and what's the well-doing? This work, man. Why is this work called well-doing? Because this is the bridge to salvation. All right? For in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Right, and that's the key, man, if we faint not, which this scripture actually gives you the blueprint on how to be delivered, man. And you might say, well, it goes back to predestination, and you right. That's very accurate. But it's predestined for men to faint. All right, for all the men that's on fire doing this work and fervent for the ministry, well, that was predestined, man. And for all you guys that's lukewarm and becoming weary, well, that was predestined as well. All right? This is the book of Isaiah, 35th chapter, and the 3rd verse. Strengthen ye the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees. So if right now you notice yourself, all right, if you notice yourself being disenchanted, you not, you know, you can look at other brothers, you know, everybody ain't got the same measure of the spirit, all right? Yet, if you see that you ain't did a video in a month, man, or 2 weeks, hey, you should strengthen your hands, man. And how do you do that? You go and pray to the Most High, and you go back into the book, man, all right? That's how you restore your spirit. That's how your inward man get renewed, which is your mind. Again, you can go read 1 chapter in Psalms, and that's a lesson, man. Which proves that guys is really front for the camera, man. It's guys that's sitting around, standing around. They really don't want to be there, man. All right? And then you look at their page, they not doing the work. All right? And again, we know who you are, man. All right? And you're not going to be rewarded just by winging it. You know, you got to go hard for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And I'm going to end off with one last scripture. This is Revelation 22:12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. Right? So if you hide your talent, then the Lord is going to hide the kingdom from you, man. All right? He's going to hide salvation from you. On the flip side, if you're going hard doing the work with all your strength, all your mind, you know, with all, you know, everything that's in you, you know. And again, we got to coexist in this world. You got to work, all right? You might have a heavy schedule, but you don't work 24 hours a day, man. You don't sleep 24 hours a day. You don't eat, sleep, shit 24 hours a day. So that means there's some hours that's free that you should give to the Lord, man. And even if you are tired, sometimes you just got to fight through it and do the work. The Lord said, I'll make your body a living sacrifice. All right? So I hope this was an edifying lesson. Most importantly, I hope it was a warning to you brothers out there that's beginning to become disenchanted and becoming weary in His truth. All right? Pray to the Most High. Maybe it will be the Most High will have mercy on you and strengthen you up. All right? Because this thing is serious, man. And every day that go by, every day the sun set, every day the sun rise, we getting close and close to that majestic return that you can't put it in words. Just the appearing of the Lord, all right? The King of Kings, Yahweh Shah. All right? We getting closer, man. So with that, Shalom.